dense blanket shrouds its floors. The extinct Elgon Mountain, with the largest volcanic base in the world. The rivers are the arteries of the forest beds with the source of the longest river, the Nile. As it flows, it grows and smashes into the rocks in a frenzy. The whooshing waves attract the whitewater rafters and bungee jumpers as they experience the adventure at its prime. Uganda experiences tropical climate in 2 seasons, the wet and dry seasons influenced by the topography of high mountains and hills, with the equator running across Uganda mitigated by the altitude. The game parks of Uganda are filled with various species of fauna and flora. The thick, vibrant verdant forests and grasslands snake their way through the flows of Mother Earth. Uganda truly has a remarkable, astounding signature mark from the other African countries. Let your destination voice rhyme with the rich culture and fascinating scenery of Uganda's beautiful nature.
Smart 24, driving business.
A very good morning and welcome to Smart Means Business. I'm Andrew Barigi. I'm delighted for you to be a part of today's edition of Smart Means Business today on the 7th of February 2025. Definitely as we take a look at the top stories that are happening all across the globe, of course, taking a look at them from the perspective of East Africa, and also the globe at large. But of course, as usual, before we proceed into any other related reports, let's first of all take a look at what's making headlines within the local press. Well, as we kick start off, I do have the Daily Monitor and the New Vision. Now, let's start with the Daily Monitor. Now, Aga Khan's footprints in Uganda has all been, of course, talked about here. And of course, taking a look at the impacting lives bit of it, His Highness Aga Khan invested in health, education, manufacturing, energy, hospital, and projects that benefit millions of Ugandans. That's according to what I can see here. And then we took a look at the Supreme Court ruling. Shocked me, says Muhoozi. He was shocked by the Supreme Court ruling. Now, the Chief Defense of Forces, that is Muhoozi Kainerugaba, said that he was surprised by the ruling that court-martial should not try the civilians. You can imagine such an occurrence in there. And also, 70 names Zeja Deputy CJ, as the president appointed the Justice Flavian Zeja, the current principal judge, as the new Deputy Chief Justice. And according to the reports, he will replace Justice Butera, who is retiring. That is come April. Okay, now proceeding along, the Indian Business Forum pays tribute to Aga Khan. Now, the businessmen say His Highness the Aga Khan was instrumental when it comes to Uganda's development, and there is a lot that has been discussed about his prejudicial impact to the various sectors of this country's economy. And now we take a look at the religious leaders who applaud Aga Khan's compassion. You know, he was quite a compassionate person, talking about the philanthropy bit of it that was something that largely really defined him, you know. And of course, his funeral is set for Saturday. Okay, that is tomorrow. And of course, we see his lasting influence in Uganda's education sector. Yeah, and quite so many. So rest, let him rest in peace, and we see what really proceeds along. All right. There is a lot that has actually been written about him. When you grab yourself a copy of the Daily Monitor, you'll be able to find the details that are related to that. Now, as we get into the other national news, General Muhoozi joins father in criticism of Supreme Court. Now, the CDF says there is need to amend the necessary laws to address the mandate of military courts that is following the ruling and the Supreme Court on the matter. That is what he said. And then the members of parliament front ban an army uniform in parliament, you know. Actually, they say the justification via this is that the military attire is often perceived as intimidating, as many people associated with actions carried out by those in those uniforms. You know, there is that psychological trauma that comes into the people with their perceptions about something, and they entirely, when they take a look at that uniform, they'll definitely think about this person is perhaps, you know, is a rough person. I'll say it that way. And then we take a look at the Bank of Uganda Haste, as 8 officials charged and have been sent to jail. Now, the group was yesterday arraigned before the Anti-Corruption Court Chief Magistrate, that is Rachel Nachaze. So there is a lot that has been also said about that. And Justice Zeja has been appointed as Deputy Chief Justice. There is further details into that, and queries over arrest of journalist by refinery investor. There is a lot that has also surfaced and in relation to that. And there is a question here in the business side that have the pension schemes found safe baiting bonds. We see that Uganda Retirement Benefits Regulatory Authority indicates that 78.15% of the pension funds investments are government debt, while a modest 9.81% are in equities, you know, what we call the equities. So that is what is proceeding along there. And now taking a look into the editorial, the deal with the post-school at Tennessee holistically. There is a lot, that's what somebody says, that deal with post-school at Tennessee holistically. So how? There is a lot that has been said about that, and balancing the law and governance judgment on military trials for civilians. Somebody has also written that via the comment section. And a call to action. Let's reimagine. You know, what should we reimagine? Grab yourself a copy to find out the further details into that. And now, the headache of separating wheat from chaff will worsen the 2020 as 2026 gets closer. Somebody has also written something there. And then, orphan content syndrome puts off readers and the viewers. So, what is orphan content syndrome? Grab yourself a copy of the Daily Monitor to get the further details that are entailed into that. And the letter of the day today, the ECLH transform our security services to prevent tragedies. Yeah, so I think he has a point on that. and the forgotten key to disease prevention, that is health education, has been cited out as that. Okay. Now, for those that actually do love the movies in the streaming side, the movie for you to check out at this weekend, The Lucas World. Of course, the cast has Juan Pablo Medina. We have Barbara Mori. We have Ari Brickman, Mendoza are all into that. So you get to grab yourself a copy of this movie to really get your weekend kick started. Then government school feeding to boost enrollment by 10%. That is according to the report. Now, the Education for Values, Innovation and Transformation report states that the majority of the learners, especially in hunger-stricken areas, will remain in schools once there is feeding. That is what Semba has also said in relation to that. And then residents started in regional news. We take a look at the Kamwenge locals who build a health center. Now, the residents started the initiative in order to stop traveling 20 kilometers from Kagada to Chiagara Health Center 3 for the services. So that is what we see there. And then the patients overwhelm Amuru UPDF medical camp. And there is a lot that has also been said about that. And then pay for the license or leave the lake. The army, of course, tells the fishermen they either pay for the license or leave the lake. So there is a lot that has been said about that. And now when we get into the regional news, how sugarcane growing has impoverished Busoga. A lot has been written about that. And residents blame sugarcane growing for low levels of education and food shortages. So how are those really related? All has been stated in here. And then the minister warns on exhuming Ebola victim bodies. Ebola victim bodies. So there is a lot that has been written about that. Just grab yourself a copy of the Daily Monitor to find out the further details. And somebody here says their wish is to build the largest public relations firm in Africa. That is very incredible. And then Uganda raging out the World Cup dreams. Of course, we see after commanding the first performance at home, the Uganda cricket cranes are in Hong Kong, China, ready to ignite their World Cup dream in challenging conditions. Now, the question is, can they be unstoppable on foreign soil? So for the sports fan, there is something to look up to there. All right, now proceeding along, that is it for the Daily Monitor. Now, as we switch to the No Vision, we take a look at the 60 billion loss as finance staff sent to Luzira. I can see all that in here. And the tough rules that are set for teacher recruitment, all has been also stated there. And Zaija appointed Deputy Chief Justice. That is when we come to the judiciary side. There is a lot that has also been written about that. And then Museveni assures Ugandans of security. Yes, he assures Ugandans of security. So a lot has also been written in there. Now, as we proceed with the New Vision, Nambola is set to host Uganda's biggest agriculture expo. There is further details that has been listed into that. So get to grab yourself a copy of that. As you can see on screen, what is really making headlines within the press. Well, now switching over to other aspects, finance officials charged remanded over 60 billion haste. Now, Yahweh and Kasiku are battling charges of causing financial loss. Now, the offense attracts the maximum sentence of 14 years imprisonment on conviction. That is according to what the sentence is all about. And then further details as President Museveni assures Ugandans on national security, economic growth too. There is a lot that has been written in here. Now, when we take a look at the IMF predictions, the International Monetary Fund forecasts a transformative phase for Uganda's economy with the initiation of oil production in 2025. Now, according to the IMF economic growth, according to the International Monetary Fund, economic growth is projected to rise to 7%. That is in the financial year 2024 and 2025, and the medium term too. Now, further, the agency indicated that the 2025-2026 fiscal year, the country's economic growth is expected to surge with the GDP projected to soar to about 10.8%, significantly up from the previously estimated, that is 6.2%. Now, the IMF predicts that once the oil extraction from the Lake Albert region ramps up in the year 2025-2026, fiscal year, peak output could actually reach 240,000 barrels per day, positioning Uganda as a key player in the regional global oil market. So a lot has been that. And of course, here we see that after June, our economy will grow by 7.3% without oil, and that is a high growth speed. Very few countries can achieve that. That is according to what the president thinks. Okay. Now, the M23 rebels have captured parts of Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, they have been told to adapt Museveni's inclusivity for peace. This is Pastor Robert Kayanja, who says that adapt Museveni's inclusivity for peace, as the M23 rebels have captured the parts of the Democratic Republic of Congo. So a lot has been written about that. And then Rotarians to continue supporting polio fight despite the United States withdrawal. And then, of course, in the memory of His Highness Prince Karim Al Husseini Aga Khan V, who lived from 1936 to 2025. Of course, there is in memory of him. And of course, they tell us here that Aga Khan V struck fine balance between business and religion. So that is something very good for him. And then when we get into the comment section, how this money export to drive agriculture transformation, how it has been written in here. And then to the court ruling, why history can't repeat itself. Somebody has also written something in laying to that. And then join anti-corruption fight and enable heroes to rest in peace. So somebody believes that the only way we can make the heroes rest in peace is to join the anti-corruption fight. Okay. Then as we proceed along, when we get into the harvest money, 2025 Expo, a perfect Valentine's kit for the farmers. Of course, gift hampers to be sold at reduced price. That is something written in there. B, of course, they still tell us the 2025 Expo, be there or be square. And then in other stories, barley farming helped Me Complete School start a family. This is a gentleman here who's actually given a testimony as a result of growing barley. What he benefited from there. He has shared his story here in the New Vision. So grab yourself a copy if you are really interested to find out further aspects into that. Then still into the harvest money, learn innovative feeding methods to enhance urban milk yield. This is what according to the experts say. Now, during the 2025 Expo, a professor will train the dairy farmers. Dairy farmers will be trained in innovative ways to feed their cows, increase milk yields. And this session will actually take place next Saturday at exactly 2 p.m. That is what is being stated in here. Now, as we get into the business side, the maize farmers lack key knowledge and standards. That's according to what the experts say. Now, small-scale farmers in Gulu and Amuru districts grow maize on an average of 2 to 4 acres, yielding between 800 and 1,400 kilograms. That is per acre. That is what they say. And then Makera Inu partnership to empower innovators. Makera University is into a partnership. And then education is called for audit for the PLE results. Of course, saying that the distinctions were laced according to what they expected. And now tighten teacher recruitment. This according to the commission. Of course, the Mushenga Commission has suggested that initial teacher training should take 4 years. up from 3 years. It's now very tight. And now, when we cross over to the community news in Kasese, the women lay bricks to fight poverty. There is a group of ladies that has about 40 members making over 20,000 bricks a month. And in this way, they're eradicating poverty. And they say that our water pipe is too short. We improvise by joining fresh banana stems to channel the water to the bricklaying site. That is what they say. And then Moroto community officers asked to prioritize gender equality. Now, during the financial year 2023-2024, the Equal Opportunities Commission assessment report showed that Moroto was doing badly in terms of gender equity. Now, Tororo, Buko, and Yuma District were the best performing on gender issues. Now, the trainees agreed that poor performance could actually have resulted from limited capacity by the local government to internalize gender and equity related issues. Okay. And then from the international side, the M23 conduct mandatory meeting. Now, Tshisekedi and Kagame are due to attend a summit tomorrow, as following this report. And then South Korea ministries police block the artificial intelligence DeepSeek access. You can imagine DeepSeek is actually causing lots of rounds, as many feel like the Americans feel like it's going to be a tight competition with ChatGPT. But let's wait and see how that will really end up. I love such battles. They really boost the innovation either way for both of the boats. Now, USAID cuts come at a deadly moment for malaria control. Seeing the cuts come as an invasive mosquito species from Asia, Anopheles. Of course, they say Anopheles stephensi. I'm trying to read the name here. Anopheles has started spreading in East Africa. That's what they're saying. I'm seeing some people that are rioting here. People are protesting against the administration of the United States of Donald Trump's decision to virtually shut down the United States Agency for International Development as the United States capital in Washington, D.C. This was yesterday when we saw these citizens of America striking against what the President of America is actually doing. Then why United States is keeping G20 talks in South Africa? Now, Ramaphosa raised concerns about disinformation being spread by the U.S. president with the top Trump ally, that is Elon Musk. Okay, almost my time is actually almost up, but let's wrap up. Now, the beat side here, we'll take a look at Shadrach. Shadrach, for the hip hop fans, he's quite very instrumental. Shadrach, recovery, hip hop, rock, cocaine, and God. So there is exactly. Now, of course, they tell us what happens when the mastermind behind the music industry's biggest hip hop losses control. That is, so there is Shadrach who tells us a story, which is a heart-wrenching exploration of the highs and the lows of fame, fortune, and the long, hard road to recovery. So a lot has been written about that. And then the rise and the fall and the rebirth of a music mogul. Who's that music mogul? Definitely, it's Keiko. I can see Don MC in the early days. They have been written about in here. And then from the sports side, the Pirates determined to age past informed heathens. The reports are in there, and Chibirige takes control. And clubs should invest in facilities. That's what the experts say. And then can Sports Club Villa fight back? And the Uganda huge favorites marching into series in Hong Kong. And Gaddafi signed out of the first round on form. And then 760 million Ugandan shillings. These are the funds needed for the World Games. Well, that is it for our press brief. Let's go for the break, and I'll be returning with with what is happening in East Africa and also across the borders of East Africa. Stick around.
Dot24, driving business.
Upgrades are nice, but stepping up is woohoo!
I got a surprise for you.
Upgrade today to get even more with Step Up.
That's huge.
I know.
So if you're on GoTV Max and upgrade to GoTV Super, you'll get